Hey guys, Chris Superfast RC. Today we're taking a look at the Great Plains Kunai. It's a kind of a warm liner, kind of glider plane. Not a beginner plane, definitely more advanced. It's not going to be slow to bring down or anything like that, but it's definitely a cool little aircraft. So little backstory on the Kunai. This model has been around for a long time. I'm talking like probably 8, 9 years, maybe even a little longer. And it's come in various forms. There's been RXRs, there's been ARFs, and RTF, I believe. Maybe not RTF. But anyways, it's really a cool design. It's got a carbon fiber fuselage and a balsa build-up wing and covering. It's not a EPO plane. It's a good old-fashioned airplane. A little bit of modern touches here with the carbon fiber. Definitely a very sporty aerobatic kind of thing. But still can slope soar and do glider things as well. So anyways, it's made by Great Plains, which if you know, that used to be a subsidiary of Habaco. And this plane was produced under the Habaco brand, being that it is an older model. So this one is still sold today through Tower Hobbies and Horizon. But I don't know if it's still being actively manufactured or if they just have a whole bunch of these in storage somewhere, and Horizon is just, you know, kind of selling them off a little bit at a time, and they're not making them anymore. I'm gonna see if I can find any dates anywhere if it jumps out on me at me while we're doing the unboxing to see when this guy was manufactured. But definitely a cool glider nonetheless. This is the ARF, so it's going to include things like the motor and the ESC. But no servos, no receiver, and no battery. And there should be some assembly required being an ARF. So moving on, let's look at the box. What do we got here? So it's ARF, sharp, sporty performance. Definitely not going to be ideal for your first time flyer, but simple, fast building design, superior performance. It's got a 1400 kV Outrunner brushless motor and a folding propeller. So that's cool. Definitely awesome on a glider. Built-in wing, build-up wing, and a fiberglass fuselage pod and carbon fiber boom tail. So definitely a advanced aircraft. Anything else we need to look at here? It just shows you here what you get in the box. So if you the wings are like that, they're unassembled, and so you're going to need some materials and some servos to get this thing going, and a little bit of time as well. Nothing on this side of the box, and this side of the box just kind of the same thing you see on that side. It's going to show you that it includes the folding prop. It's got a magnetic hatch, and there's a little shot of the insides. So let's see if it says anything. Required product recommendations. So right here it's telling us it wants you to use an 8-channel. You don't need 8-channel. I'm sorry. That's just trying to sell you on an 8-channel radio, make you pay a little more. And this is a Great Plains Electrifly model battery. I'm not even sure if that's made anymore. It's a 3-cell, 1200 milliamp hour, 30C. And I know this plane, the fuselage is tight, so we're going to have to kind of work around that spec battery to get something that's going to fit in the spot for it. On the ARF, it's going to recommend the ESC. Maybe this doesn't include ESC. You know what? I don't think it does. So it's recommending a Electrify Silver Series 25 amp ESC. I've got various airplane ESCs laying around from crash builds. We're just going to stick one of those in there. And four Futaba micro high torque steering servos. I'm pretty sure I've got some of those laying around as well. A couple other things you're going to need. You're going to need some epoxy, probably 30-minute. You might call for 6-minute. We'll check. But let's go ahead and get into the box. So right away, this box is kind of messed up, but it's okay. Like I said, it might have been sitting in a warehouse for a long, long time. Maybe some scissors here. Can't see any in sight, so we'll just have to work around it. Pull the tape off. That works just fine. Get that there. Awesome. Okay, so first thing out of the box, important instruction manual edition for Great Plains Kunai. Photo, label, retainer, set screw lock image. Assembling the Kunai RXR. Remove the nylon retainers from the screw lock connections on the aileron rudder. So they just want to make sure that all these on the the RXR tuned correctly for the servo throws. If assembling the Kunai ARF, discard nylon retainers package in the main hardware bag. Replace retainers with new retainers in the bag to this addendum. When installing the retainers, the screw lock connectors, be certain that the retainers snap in tightly. If any retainer does not snap on tightly, replace it with one of the extra retainers in the bag. So just a little addition in the manual there. They had some trouble apparently with stuff coming loose, and they're making sure you get it on there tight. So very nice of them to go ahead and tell us that and give us the updated parts. So get a sticker sheet. This is cool. This is kind of old school. You get the Kunai, you got the Futaba, Great Plains, Electrofly, all of Habaco's old brands there. So that's definitely neat. This is the addendum we just read through. Is there another addendum? There is. So we have another one for page 9, step 1, and page 11, step 4, that we need to definitely take note of there. So it'll be in your manual. I'm not going to go through and bore you with that. Okay, setting the motor brake in the ESC. So basically it's just making sure you set up your motor brake right so the folding propeller will stop in the air. So that's cool. Tighten on the foam covering on the ARF model. So you're going to use a covering iron and just kind of make sure that everything's nice and tight. You can also use the hair dryer on the high setting. Just don't get too overzealous with it and you'll be all right. Let's see, this is the main manual. So wingspan of 55 inches, length 36 inches, weight 20 to 21.5 ounces, and 4-channel, 4 servos. We've got 4 servos. They're probably 2 are going to be mixed. Motor, it's got the Outrunner, 20 amp ESC folding propeller. Like I said, I don't think this one covers the, it doesn't come with the ESC. So also AMA, so if you're not a member of AMA, it's probably a good idea to become a member and go through all the rules, make sure you're either recreationally flying or you have a Part 107. With this, you're probably recreational. I wouldn't see anybody using a Part 107 with this. So just ESC stuff there, some build-up tips, probably balancing. Kit inspection, tightening, servo throws, all that kind of good stuff. Epoxy, CA. Let's see if I can get a list of required stuff here. So Shugu, really? Cool. We're actually going to Shugu some stuff on. I want to make sure here, tools and building supplies. So we need some servo extensions. I've got those. ARF, LiPo battery, ESC, not included. Wait, RXR, it is included. So there, they want you to use the GP-MM 1820. Probably not going to use that. Using a LiPo balancing charger. Also, here we go. We're going to need 30-minute epoxy, CA glue thin, Shugu, Great Plains medium CA, CA accelerator. You can do that if you want. Non-permanent thread locker, so blue, and it's this Dubro double-sided foam for mounting ESC. You don't need that. You can use regular 3M stuff you can get at the hardware store. All right, so that's the manual. Very, very thorough and good to know. Tells you about flight, balancing, and setting flight timers. All important information if you don't already know. But if you know, if you are getting this model, you probably already know what you're doing. So first thing out of the box here, we've got the, be careful with the tape. You don't want to break anything. So we got our vertical stabilizer here. Very nice. Covering, balsa buildup. Cool. Little wrinkle there on the covering, but it does say that you need to go ahead and heat that up to get it to shrink correctly. I'm sure these are assembled in China and at a very fast pace, so stuff probably gets missed. Here we got our horizontal stab. Very nice hinge surfaces. They're using looks like clear sort of tape to hinge that surface, so pretty durable for what you're going to be using it for. All right, here's our main wing. And it looks like it's secured again. Oh man, here's little scissors right here. With tape, None of this stuff's going to get damaged in shipping. I can tell you that much. This stuff is tightly secured in there. Alright, so there's the right side. Okay. Got your aileron right there, right side. On the bottom, we've got our hole for our servo and a thread in there for your servo leads. That's really nice of them to pre-install that. You don't have to put a rod down there and fish it for you. That's cool. Very nice. Okay, here we got our left side. Once again, we got our aileron right there. Hole for our servo and a string pre-installed so we don't have to fish our servo rod through the channel there. Alright, so the last part of it here should be the fuselage and the motor and prop. Prop's not pre-installed, okay. Let's go ahead and get our fuselage out. And pull that out, and then this should pop right on through. Yes, it will. And like I said, with the tape here, plenty of tape. Anyways, so here we got our fuselage. I'm telling you, they didn't want this thing coming out. Some better scissors. I have some, they're just off camera. Can't reach them, so might as well struggle, right? Here we go, got a good grip. All right, so there's our fuselage assembly right there. Get that out of the way. So we have a fiberglass, basically fuselage tub right here. And on the rear, this is a carbon fiber, kind of a rod. Well, it's carbon fiber, but it's balsa wood in the middle. So we got a carbon fiber wrap, so the tube's carbon fiber. But it's balsa in the middle. It's nice and stiff. It's not going to do any flexing on you. And like I said here, the actual holding area of the fuselage is very tight, so we're going to have to figure out a way to get a ESC. It's going to be a pretty small ESC, 20 amp it said, and a battery in this area right here. So very tight. Here's where our servos are going to go, and here I would imagine some wiring harness is going to go in there to connect those servos into the wing. So definitely tight quarters. Going to be a challenge on the build, but nothing I don't think we can't handle. A little bit of crack there. It could be just a scratch. Might be a little bit of a crack. I don't know if you can see that right there. We'll put some CA on it. I don't think it's going to spread, but we'll definitely put some CA on it. I'll go ahead and put the canopy back on. It's right there where the canopy attaches to the fuselage. And guys, that got a little magnet there. I wouldn't trust that in flight. I would definitely put some tape on this thing before you go somewhere with it, because this thing, I have a feeling, is just going to pop right off. That's not very secure at all. Yeah, definitely need to tape this down before you go for your flight, just to be safe. It's not going to hurt the paint or anything on here, so that's a plus. Okay, that's going to roll over. Lastly, we have our propeller. It's kind of a small folding propeller. It does include a Y harness for our aileron servos in there as well, so that's very nifty. What else is in here? So we've got some servo parts. This is probably what he's talking about with those addendums. We've got our throw arms here for our wings. Looks like some servo covers for the wing itself. I guess if you're going to use standard size servos or different size servos, these can be used to cover that hole. Or probably what that's in there for, I bet, is just to kind of make it look cleaner. So yeah, just linkages, pieces right there. And here's some control rods. And what looks like another stabilizer. I bet that's our horizontal stab right there, that carbon. It's going to go between the two wing halves before we glue them together. And some Velcro, probably for our battery, so it doesn't come flying out of there if the hatch were to come off. And then, of course, like I said, the piano wire right there, that's going to be our linkages between our rudder and our elevator. So, cool, guys. So, once again, this is going to be the Great Plains Kunai. kind of a hot liner kind of plane. Not a hot liner, more of a warm liner, but a slope soarer, just a sportier glider. And like I said, one of the few remaining planes from Hobbico that are for sale today. So it's kind of a cool piece of history and definitely kind of a classic buildup. But yeah, guys, this has been the Kunai unboxing and overview. And this has been Chris Superfast RC. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for future videos on this model and others. Stuff on the Max still is coming up. X Max is coming up. And a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.